Hello, my name's Sue Cooper. I work in West London as a community artist with a group of puppets known as the Elders. So some of them are joining me at the tea table today. Fodzyme for me has been an absolute miracle. I've been using it since the 11th of January, which is a nice little date on my calendar now. And when I wrote to these wonderful teams to say thank you, they said, would you like to come along and talk about it? So here I am. Here we are. I say a miracle because for me, for the first time in 7 years, I have a completely quiet gut and I eat anything I want. And there, in the IBS community, there aren't miracles any bigger than that, I don't suppose. Sort of medically, 7 years, all of the tests, diagnosis of IBS. And I always think that's an interesting term because, if you're struggling with it, it's not really irritation. It's kind of anger or tantrum or kind of rage that happens in your gut. So all of the symptoms, the daily diarrhea, the stomach cramps, the just sort of generally a lot of noise going on in the plumbing most of the time. Last year, I met a new gastroenterologist who's started to break down some of my problems a bit differently. So under this umbrella of IBS, started to talk about things like colonic insufficiency, secondary gastroparesis, SIBO, etc. And with a program of supplements and a low FODMAP diet, things were better, but they weren't right. And I still had some kind of nasty surprises. And eating felt like playing Russian roulette, really. You're never quite sure, particularly eating out, eating at friends. You're either kind of nightmare guest who interrogates the host as to everything that's in the food, or you take a chance and suffer consequences. Anyway, over the winter this year, sort of between Thanksgiving and New Year's, I had 4 really bad attacks. I mean, some of which had me in bed for a day, clutching the hot water bottle, looking for stronger painkillers, that sort of stuff. But that enforced idleness gave me enough time to kind of think about what the trigger foods might have been. And as I did that, I realized it was the sort of stuff that Fodzyme claimed they could help. And I say claimed because if you struggle with IBS, you're not short of people kind of suggesting supplements, some of which are very expensive, most of which in my experience didn't work. But anyway, I felt I'd tried everything else. I might as well give it a go. So I ordered some Fodzyme and then sat and looked at this pot for a week and sort of dared myself to try. And in the end, kind of cleared my calendar and had a go. And I had a go by eating a sandwich with half an onion. And when I say half an onion, I mean half a kind of British onion, not half of one of the giant American onions. Ate my sandwich, sprinkled with Fodzyme, and sat to see what had happened. And after half an hour, which was my normal signal that there was trouble, nothing happened. And after an hour and a half, to bedtime, to the next morning, no reaction at all. But being kind of pretty skeptical sort of person, I thought I need better proof. So 2 days later, I made some homemade hummus with a shed load of garlic and ate it with a normal wheat pitted bread and thought, if this product claims it can do this, let's see what it does now. And the same thing happened. That is to say, absolutely nothing. So I became convinced that the sort of digestive issues I was having, were things that Fodzyme could deal with. Since then, I have to say, I've been on some sort of victory lap. I mean, I spend my life now eating pizza and pasta and lentils and all of the things that I wasn't able to have, and lots of onion and garlic. So that's my story. That's what happened to me. And, you know, being in London, it being tea time, I'll show you how I use it on a slice of cake. By the way, incidentally, I carry mine, like Day Day, I have a little bag to carry my jar around in. I have a little pot that I have on my dining table, and I just scoop some out when I need it. And I have a little box. I used to carry the sachets in my bag or fanny pack bum bag, but they got a bit creased. So I now have a little box to put them in. Anyway, so believing that you have to put this stuff as close to the source as possible, and I've got a simple thing to demonstrate. I mean, all I do is take a piece of cake, throw this on top, and off I go.